Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do, so we know where we are now. Let's just say that we're interested in going to this particular spot out here on this point here. I could just let my GPS guide me, but again, the eTrex H does not have an electronic compass in it, and you can see that it's giving me an arrow, which is the direction I'm supposed to travel in, but unless I'm moving, that arrow really doesn't move. Now once I start walking, it'll lock in on where I am, and it'll give me pretty good directions, but I usually don't mess with that. So what I do is I just take the bearing 263 degrees, which is telling me is the direction that I need to travel to get from right here out to right here. So I've set that on my compass. So here's the 260 mark. Sorry about that. Here's the 260 mark. I'm just over 1.5 little tick marks from that. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how I follow the compass here to get there. I'm going to have to move the camera just a second to demonstrate that. Okay, so I've set my compass for the heading that the GPS told me to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sighting with it. And what I do is, this compass has a mirror on the back side of it, and this compass is so old, a lot of the silvery part on mine has worn off. But what you do is you turn the top of the compass down until you can see the needle in the reflection of the mirror, and then you just rotate it until the needle lines up like this, and then you just look through this little gun sight here, and it looks like there's a tree out there, and I'll try to zoom in on that tree. This tree right here is exactly in line with the direction that we want to go. And that's really handy because if I pull back out, you'll see that there's water directly in my path between here and that tree. So all I have to do is keep my eye on that tree, and I can walk around the edge of the lake here and walk right over to that tree, and when I get there, then I'll just take another heading and keep going. So we're going to do that. Fred's excited we're finally moving, buddy. All this filming's kind of for the dogs, isn't it? Yeah, you're looking for a little stick action. All right, we'll do some of that on the way. Here we go. That's a happy dog there. All right, on our way to the tree. Yeah, that's good stuff, isn't it, Fred? Okay, we made it over to the tree that we were headed towards, and what we'll do in just a second is we're going to walk over to the other side of this tree and take another compass heading, pick out another spot that we're going towards, and move that direction. But just want to show you something real quick. Let's say that we got over here, and we weren't sure whether this was really the tree that we had picked out to walk over towards. One thing that you can do is you can take a back sighting with your compass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing back around this way. Okay, now we're going to take our back sighting with using our compass here, and what I'm going to do is, instead of putting the red end of the needle here in the north facing arrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the south end of the arrow in the little guide here. So I'm taking 180 degrees different direction from where I headed out, which is exactly the opposite direction and the direction that I came from. So let's get everything lined up here. All right, everything looks pretty square. Let's sight over our little gun sight there and zoom over there and see that that is the log indeed that we were sitting on earlier when I did the first part of the demonstration. So I know I'm on the line that I wanted to be on. Okay, so we verified that this is the tree that we intended to go to, which I knew it was because I hadn't taken my eye off it. But sometimes you'll lose sight of a tree if you're going around an obstacle or something, and so that back sighting technique is just a good way to make sure that you're back on track. Now all I've got to do is I've just got to step over on the other side of the tree, take another sighting off of the next tree out there, walk to that one, and just keep doing that, basically sort of stair-stepping until I get all the way to my location where I want to go. I'm not going to go any further because it gets pretty thick in that cedar thicket in there, and there's a trail right over there, so I'm going to take that way instead. But just so that you know how to do it, that's all there is to it. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, I think that with the combination of this $100 GPS and $100 mapping software and a little bit of knowledge up here along with your compass that you need to have anyway, you can do just about anything that you can with much more expensive GPS, which might have a map on it, but which really, and again, the maps that are on most consumer grade GPSs right now are not nearly detailed enough for what you're going to want for hunting purposes. So this way you get kind of the best of both worlds, and you can do it at a very economical cost, plus you're learning a skill that you'll always have, and this compass and the map will always work. You don't have to worry about the batteries going out, and you know that you can always get to where you're going if you've got just a little bit of skill with using the both of them. So that's it for this little segment. Again, this is Chris Anderson with PursuitHunting.com, and we will be back with something else soon. Don't know what it is. We'll figure that out soon. Take care.